Hello everyone, welcome to ACCA F5 Performance Management by Accountancy 2. Now, if you are watching this lecture for the first time on accountancytube.com, then let me tell you that this lecture is going to be free, and the following lectures are also going to be free. So all the lectures which you will watch for ACCA F5 are absolutely free. You can watch them on accountancytube.com under the F5 section. Apart from these video lectures, we also provide free ACCA F5 notes, and for other exams as well. You will have to check on our website. So if we provide free ACCA notes in the PDF form, so you can download them and you can use them while watching these lectures online. All right, so you can download our PDF notes and you can watch me do these lectures while I'm writing this stuff on the board and I'm talking to you as well. Although you can download the notes from our website, but I will also, while doing the lectures, while delivering the lectures, I will also share the screen. So I will be reading the same notes in my iPad, so I will share the screen through my iPad onto your computer so you can see the same notes on your screen as well. But I would ask you to download your copy of your notes so that when you finish watching this lecture, you can read the notes from your downloaded copy, or if you want to print, you can do so, but please make sure you care about the environment before printing the notes. Right? We provide free lectures, as I said, and we provide free notes as well. These are absolutely free. You don't have to pay anything for that. Apart from that, you will also be able to download a practice bank from our website, and there will be few questions in them. So after finishing every chapter, you can go to the question bank and do the practice from there. All right, so that will be our practice bank, which also you can download from our website, free of cost. You don't have to pay anything. Apart from these things, do you need anything else to pass this exam? Yes, of course, you need a couple of more things as well. You'll have to buy the exam kit for yourself. We do not provide the exam kit, so you'll have to buy from the ALP, approved learning provider. There are quite many in the market. You can buy from Kaplan, you can buy from BPP or whoever, right? So you can buy from any of them. I personally use BPP exam kit. The reason is I like it, basically, so there's not a specific reason. To be fair, there's a reason that they have picked the questions from all of the past exam papers. So normally I use the BPP. You can use whichever you want. You can also go to the ACC website to check the previous or the past exam papers, because it is performance exam, performance management exam, so you can use the past exam papers. But sometimes some of the syllabus areas are given in the exams that were given in the exam are no longer in the syllabus now. So like backflush accounting, it was in the syllabus quite some time ago, but it is no longer in the syllabus. So likewise, there are few topics which are excluded from the syllabus, which are no longer in our syllabus, but you might see them when you download the past exam papers. So that's why we use the exam kits. They are based on the past exam paper, but they have amended few things. So they have excluded the topics which are no longer in our syllabus, and they've added few topics which are now in our syllabus. All right, and another thing as well, while downloading the notes, downloading the past papers from ACCA's global website, they were in different format. Excuse me. As you might know, that the format has been changed from previous exams, like in F5 quite some time ago. They were used to be 4 questions of 25 marks each. Then they changed it to 5 questions of 20 marks each. But now it's quite different, because we've got objective test questions and constructed response questions and something like that, some technical stuff. But I would say that the exam format which is now is easier than it was when they were 25 mark questions, 4 questions of 25 mark each. It was difficult for us to score the marks at that time, but it is easier now because we have got 4 options, and they are relatively easier than they were quite some time ago. But that's my own personal opinion, no objection. So that's my own personal opinion. So having said that, it's easier for you, I'm encouraging you, it's easier for you to pass this exam. Then you should feel that you are lucky you did not set the exam when it was quite difficult. 4 questions of 25 marks each. All right, so that's it, and my name is Faisal Farooq. I will be delivering the lectures. I am qualified accountant, and I'm teaching this paper and some other papers for quite some time. I have practiced as well, so I have a different sort of experience of teaching, marking, making exams, and whatnot. All right, so what we will do is we will do the lectures. I will read through the notes, and I will do some questions if necessary on the board. I will write a few stuffs on the board which you must note while I'm writing down, or just pause the video and you can write down, or after finishing the lecture, whatever I have written on the board, you can write that, because it is very, very important for you to write down what I am writing on the board. I'm not writing it for my own self, I am writing it for yourself, right? So that's why you should note what I am writing down on the board. Right, after doing that, when you finish this lecture, read the notes again, go to practice bank, which you can download from accountancytube.com, do the questions which I will indicate, which I will tell you that do these questions, do them questions, and after that go to the practice and revision kit and do the questions from there as well. So after following this approach, I will make the things very easy for you by doing these lectures and notes and then exam kit. Now some people will say that the study text is quite comprehensive as compared to my notes, right? So the study text is about 700 pages long, whereas my notes are less than 100 pages long. So why shall I go with the notes? Because if I am following the notes, I might fail this exam. That might, you might be thinking this. It's not right, because the notes are very, very concise, but they are comprehensive at the same time as well. So all the important topics which you need to pass this exam are included in these notes. There isn't anything omitted from these notes. Even any minor topics are omitted, I will explain them during the lecture. So that's why I encourage that you must not just read the notes, and you must not just watch the lectures. They must be used in conjunction. They must be used both at the same time to get the full benefit, to get the maximum benefit of Accountancy Tube study sport. Right? Even after watching this lecture and reading the notes, if you have any problems, you can email me directly, or you can comment under this video on the YouTube, so that I will be able to answer you, or my assistant will answer you when he has time. All right? Normally we do it within 24 hours, or it can take up to maximum of 48 hours. So we'll try to respond within 48 hours. All right, we have this website, we have Accountancy Tube YouTube page as well. So you must follow our channel. Why you should follow our YouTube channel? Why should you subscribe to our YouTube channel? The reason is, whenever new video is uploaded on the YouTube, you will be the first one to know, because although our lectures are available on our website, you must watch them from our website. I will tell you the reason in a minute. But you must also subscribe to YouTube channel, because as I said, whenever a new exam tip is uploaded on the website, you will be the first one to know. Whenever a new update regarding your paper, new examiner report, new technical article is published, I will notify you through the YouTube channel. So you must subscribe to our YouTube channel as well, so that you will know, YouTube will notify you whenever the new video is uploaded. Having said that, you must watch the lectures on our own website instead of the YouTube. The reason is, on YouTube we haven't made any playlist, right? So whenever you are watching this lecture, say for example you're watching this lecture on the YouTube, the next lecture following this lecture, the next lecture might be lecture on chapter 7 or chapter 10. Whereas if you watch this lecture on our own website, accountancytube.com, then the next lecture will be in a specific order. So next lecture is going to be chapter number 1, then chapter number 2, then chapter number 3. Whereas on YouTube, you will not be able to find these lectures in order. So that's why you must watch this lecture on our own website, which is accountancytube.com. Right? So that's it, and let's move to our paper now. I will just tell you the format of the exam. Now you might know that from 2018, almost everywhere in the world, you will be able to sit the exam only in computer environment, right? So ACCA are removing the paper stuff, so you no longer need to keep writing with your hands. So you just have to type on the laptop, on the computer, which is relatively easier than just writing. All right, easier for you because you're writing, and easier for us markers, or them markers who are marking, easier for them to mark your exam, because if you're writing, then it is difficult for the markers to read what the student has written. Sometimes the writing is right. So let's move to our paper. Now, as I said, from 2018, the exam format, you will only be able to sit like computer-based exam. So I will only focus how the computer-based exam will look like. All right. So CBE sessions, you can sit 4 times a year. You know that. Now the exam of F5 will be in 3 different sections. So how the exam looks like, let's see now. There will be 3 sections. Section 1 is going to be objective test questions. Give me 1 second. So these will be objective questions, and like MCQs or fill in the blanks or true false, something like that. All right. So you will be given a little small scenario, and there will be 4 options given to you after that, or there will be 1 line, and there will be a blank space where you'll have to write the answer. All right, or it could be a true false as well. All right, so that is our section number 1. All right, and it consists on 15 questions and 2 marks each, which means this section is worth 30 marks. All right. Our section 2, it is basically these are also objective test questions. However, we will be given 5 scenarios. So basically, not 5 scenarios, 3 scenarios. 3 scenarios will be given. So we'll be given 3 scenarios, and in each scenario there will be 5 questions. All right. So we'll be given 3 scenarios, and in each scenario there will be 5 questions. So basically, altogether, it is going to be 15 questions. So 3 scenarios, 5 questions, and is equal to 15 questions altogether, and each question is worth 2 marks. So this section is also worth 30 marks. All right. So basically, this is also objective test question section. This is also exactly the same. However, there will be separate questions in section 1. Each question will be separate from the previous one and the next one. Whereas in the section 2, there will be 1 big scenario, and after that scenario, there will be 5 questions relevant to that single scenario. Right? So you'll have to read the scenario, then read the 5 questions following that, and you'll have to answer with the help of that scenario. So there will be 1 scenario, 5 questions, 1 scenario, 5 questions, and so on and so on. Right? So there will be 3 scenarios basically altogether, and 5 questions in each scenario. Section 3, it is the last section of the exam, and there will be 2 constructed response questions basically in this section. So there will be 2 questions of 20 marks each, and altogether 40 marks. Basically, in this section, examiner will give you the questions where you will have to put the things in the spreadsheets and word processing tools. He will examine some computer skills of yourself. Basically, he's not examining the computer skills, but he will just present the information in a form where it will look like you are working in an office. All right. So he might give you a table of Excel, or he might ask you to write a report in a Word form. So that will be the that will be the style of the questions. So basically, he's not testing your computer skills, but he's just presenting the information in a form so that you can familiarize yourself with the workplace, so that when you will be working in the office, you will be working like this. All right, so that is the aim of these questions. So there will be 2 questions, 20 marks each, and altogether 40 marks. Now if you look at this table, altogether there are 100 marks. However, in CBE's new sessions, they have included 10 another marks as well. 10 marks. Right? Now these 10 marks, they will be assessing the quality of the CBE exam. Now these 10 marks will not count towards your result, but they will be included in the question paper. So altogether there will be 110 marks. However, only these marks, 100 marks, will count towards your results. These 10 marks will not count towards your results. So there is no specific right or wrong answer of these 10 questions. So you can answer whatever you want. So they might ask you that how you feel about CBEs, what change we can make, something like that, right? So that is the question paper of ACCA 5. Now, hang on, we have been given 10 extra questions with regards to quality control or the quality and appraisal of ACCA CBE exams. Do we have any extra time to do these questions? Now altogether, if you know, in all ACCA exam, the time is 3 hours and 15 minutes, isn't it? In all ACCA exams, after F4. All right. In this paper, you will be given 5 extra marks. So basically, 20 marks. 5 extra minutes. 3 hours and 20 minutes altogether will be given to you in this paper. So these 5 extra marks, these 5 extra minutes are given to you to answer these 10 questions basically. So altogether you will have 3 hours and 20 minutes to solve this paper, which is worth 100 marks to score for your results. However, these 10 marks will be for own feedback purposes. So ACCA wants to know how you feel about CBEs. Right, so this is our basically ACCA F5 exam, how the ACCA F5 exam looks like. Right, now let's talk about some ACCA F5 subject areas. So what we will be studying in ACCA F5. If this is your first exam in ACCA, and if you were exempt from earlier ACCA exams, then you might have studied management accounting in your earlier studies, like your university degree. If you have studied cost accounting, if you have studied financial management, so this subject is a little relevant to all of these, right? So don't worry, we will start from the scratch, and where needed, I will tell you that if I have started teaching a topic from not the scratch, from a top level, then I will ask you to go to I will ask you to go to that section of ACCA's website or Account Institute website, and you can find the relevant stuff on that section. Right, so don't worry, we will start from the zero and then we will gradually move. I can guarantee while watching this lecture and after reading the notes, you can easily pass this exam, and it is very, very interesting exam of ACCA. This exam was considered one of the toughest exam at fundamentals level quite some time ago, and some people still think it is a tough exam. Reason is not it is actually tough or it is actually boring. It is not. It is very, very interesting exam, and to be fair, it was one of my favorite exams while I was studying ACCA because of the things which we will be studying, and I'm sure you will enjoy studying this paper because there is nothing like management accounting. All right, so let's talk about the syllabus areas, what we will be studying in this paper. First of all, we will be studying costing. So first section which we will be studying in this paper is about costing. So basically what this costing means, that whenever we are doing a business, why we do the business? Obviously we want to make the profit. So in order to make the profit, we first need to know how much this thing will cost us. So when we are going to sell something, we need to know how much will it cost us. So in order to cost that thing, we will use different methods to cost that thing. So we will study different costing methods in this area. The next area of ACCA F5 is about decision making. So the next topic is decision making, which we will study at ACCA F5. Now, decision making basically means when you have two or more choices given to you, you have to choose one of these options. That is called decision making. That is your ability to make the decision, and we will study different decision making techniques in this area. Now, decision making, which I've given the example, it was in real life example. However, we will be considering the decision making from business point of view. So basically in business, if you have given 2 or 3 options, you have to make the decision and choose one of these options. So we'll study different decision making tools or decision making techniques in this paper, like pricing decision or buy or make decision and something like that. All right, so there will be different decision making techniques. A third topic which you might have studied earlier in your earlier studies, budgeting. It is very popular, and we know this term in our real life as well. Budget, right? So what's the budget of a student to live in the UK? So something like that. So it is budgeting with regards to the business. So while doing the business, we need to make budget, so that how much we will spend on that, how much will you spend on the advertising, how much will you spend on the staff, how much will you spend on the hiring and firing, how much will you spend on the sales, how much will you spend on the finance. So something like that. So we'll be making the budgets of the companies, and we'll be learning different budgeting tools in this area. A second last topic in our F5 syllabus is variance analysis. Variances, or you can say standard costing. You might have known this topic with this name, standard costing. Now basically, while we make the budget is always made earlier than the actual events, right? So when the actual events will be different than the budgets, it is known as variance, right? So we'll be looking at different variances. Now, if you have studied F2, you might think that almost all of these topics you have already seen at F2 or FIA, FMA paper. You're right, you have seen almost everything from this area and from other areas as well. But this paper is an extension of ACCA F2 and FMA. So if F2 is here, F5 is going to be here, right? So that is the, basically F5. All right, so that was our variance and standard costing. Now in some books they have combined these two topics to make one single topic, budgeting and standard costing, but I've put them separately. A last topic is a performance measurement. Performance measurement. Now in this area we will be looking at some ratios, profitability ratio, liquidity ratio, gearing ratio. So there will be different ratios in this area. All right. So it is also one of the interesting topics of ACCA F5. Right. So that was introduction to our ACCA F5 syllabus. It was introduction to exam format, how the exam will look like. I've already introduced myself and our website, accountancytube.com. So if you have any inquiries, you can just comment on the YouTube video, on the respective video where you have any problem. So either myself or my assistant will answer you. Or you can send us an email to my own email address. I will try to respond as quickly as I can. And if you want a quick response, just send us a message or any inquiries on our Facebook page, which you also must like in order to get the updates. I will see you in the next video lecture, and we will start studying our interesting paper ACCA F5 Performance Management. Till then, goodbye.